You know, each new wave of technology produces a lot of new issues. Issues like privacy, security, freedom of expression, protection of intellectual property. All these are issues which has to be settled in a way, but they cannot be settled anymore by governments alone.
So we have to come up with mechanisms that bring everybody that's connected and concerned together to actually discuss those things.
And this was the reason why the Internet Governance Forum was established 5 years ago.
The formation of the IGF came out of a vigorous dispute between a number of players, including government, civil society and the technical community and the business community around the WSIS. Which was the World Summit on the Information Society.
And they began to realize that instead of working in parallel, they should be working collaboratively.
And so the multi-stakeholder dialogue emerged from this confrontational approach, and you need then a platform for such a dialogue.
Like the IGF, where all those people connected, the civil society, users, governments, technical people who understand how it works.
Need to talk to each other and find out where our various interests and concerns lie.
The multi-stakeholder thing is very much the way the internet works. It's the way it was built. You know, it was very much bring everybody together and everybody. So I think it's
a code word for we're meeting and talking and sharing information and problem solving ahead rather than retroactively dealing with problems.
Governments very often get together with other governments. Technical people very often get together with other technical people.
This brings everybody together to talk about those things all at once. So we don't see a whole series of separate silos trying to solve the problem on their own.
That's why this is important.
Eurit is here at the IGF conference to listen to the stakeholders of the internet, to hear their concerns.
And it's important to understand their concerns based on their impression of the technology.
And to take that with us, to work that into our strategy for the coming years.
And it is in fact perhaps more time consuming, particularly because we have to spend a lot more time talking with other people who we don't agree with, and we have to make decisions jointly.
They will have to be discussed somewhere. We see this as the best way of getting all the relevant parties to those kinds of problems.
We have a lot of issues going from the digital divide to
human rights, and it's about accessibility. And
how are we going to get the last billion people on the internet?
500 million people are on Facebook, and issues like privacy concerns are now flying around.
The concept of the right to be forgotten and how that could be implemented on the internet.
Security, freedom of expression, protection of intellectual property.
We're looking at, for example, managing the critical internet resources.
the criminals also take advantage of the technology.
How you handle the implications of all these new waves of technology.
The internet, of course, for the end users is a commodity.
So that means while you are happy that your internet works, your iPhone, your iPad or whatever.
This is why we are here. If we understand each other, we can work with each other and we can make the internet continue to work.
this is technically the last Internet Governance Forum in its current mandate.
IGF success is, one, demonstrating its value across enough members on a continuing basis that its mandate is essentially reaffirmed.
The United Nations needs to decide what's going to happen next.
That decision is probably not going to happen today, it's going to happen towards the end of the year.
And in fact, some of the developing countries have asked, is there a way that we can better harness the practices so we can use them at home?
It's been a very, very important space and forum for us.
If the world rushes on with implementing lots of internet technology, the digital divide is going to grow absolutely enormous.
So I think that is very important. Then of course, looking forward to hosting everybody in Kenya, because Kenya has expressed interest in hosting it, and so having you all in Nairobi will be very important in terms of sharing experiences and just bringing all the knowledge to our region.
So I would invite the young people to come here, and also I propose to invite Mark Zuckerberg to come to the IGF and to explain his policy, because this is now a network of 500 million people, and there should be an internet governance for Facebook.
Next year, September, it's happening in Nairobi.
Okay, thank you very
yes,
much.
Yeah.